I would like to speak about the idea of virginity and why I think it is satanic and why I think it is, just satanic and ritualistic. One example is, there's rituals that are done to little girls all over the world that are very horrific, is detrimental to their health as well. I'm not going to confirm which ritual I'm talking about. Some people can probably guess what level of Satanism I am speaking about. Another thing about virginity, I have heard numerous stories of little girls having adults putting their fingers in their genital area to check if they're virgins. If you really think about it as a sane person, what is worse, a 16-year-old having a boyfriend and mating with him, or a little girl her whole life having adults putting their fingers in her genital area? Like, what seems more natural or more normal? Um, then on top of that, there are, the satanic cult is lying that women don't need to be pleased back in the bedroom. So they are saying, oh, well, the sexual needs are just for men, and in this case for boys. And there were some societies where there were hiring like older women to sleep with like young boys who were just going through puberty, which is also downright satanic, is pedophilic. And I don't know if that's the right way, but it's like based on pedophilia, and they should not be sleeping with older, like literal grandmas. Like, additionally, there were men who didn't know how the genitalia of a woman works, and they thought they weren't virgins, and they were killing them. And let's say they weren't a virgin, I don't think you should kill someone who isn't a virgin. That is also, like, you shouldn't do human sacrificing. That is satanic. Additionally, there were, yeah, so I mean, there's many other things that happen to women and to boys, like girls and boys and women and men all over the world, in the idea of virginity. So if you have to do all these like weirdo things, like maybe you shouldn't you know what I mean? Because if this is the only ways, some of the ways I've mentioned have been used to enforce it, maybe you kind of shouldn't be practicing that mentality. And I'm not saying any man or woman should have a body count of 1,000 billion, but I'm just saying a 16-year-old girl finding a 16-year-old boyfriend and, then ending up getting pregnant before marriage is not as horrible as a little girl, getting a little girl having fingers in her vagina her entire life by strange adults to ensure virginity, and young boys sleeping with like grandmas because they have needs. Like, that is, you know what I mean? If you have to do all this weirdo stuff to enforce an idea, maybe that idea shouldn't be enforced, you know what I mean? So